In this quick demo, we're going to show how to manually fire the FireTEK system with the new advanced controller, the FTQ-99Sx. It has already powered up and done its internal checks, and here on the screen it's telling us that all of those internal checks are okay. Now, in order to manually fire, we obviously need a module, so we're going to start up this FTQ-16x64 module. And once it powers up, we will set its internal ID to ID 1. And we'll see this module networked by a green icon that shows up on the controller screen. I should point out that I don't have the external antennas on these devices, which won't affect the performance here as they're all sitting on the table next to each other. Now, the new FTQ devices came out with the new 16Q or 16 channel rail system. But I want to show that the new advanced controller will work just as well with the previous FireTEK devices based on a 12Q or 12 channel rail. And here I'll power up the FTH-48Fx module, and once it powers up, I'm going to set the ID to ID 2. And we'll see the second module icon on the controller screen also go green, showing us that we have two modules networked with the controller. Now, just like the original controller, we can use the forward or backwards buttons to go to the individual module screens. Now here we're at module 1, but it shows no Qs. That's because we don't have anything plugged into the module. So let's connect that rail. And we can see that the continuous monitoring picks up that rail. It displays an icon of 16 Qs, and it shows us that we have good continuity or igniters in 2 of those Qs or channels. And just to show the continuous real-time continuity check, we'll remove one of these igniters, and we can see on the controller screen that it changes to show only one igniter on the rail. We'll go ahead and plug this back in, and I'll plug it into channel 4 here instead of 3. And once it's plugged in and it checks continuity, both the module and the controller will show continuity on both of those channels. Here it shows 16 channels or Qs for the FTQ module. Now we'll go ahead and plug in the 12 channel or 12 Q rail of the original FTH modules, and we have just one igniter in Q or channel 1. And if we go to the module 2 screen on the controller, we can see that it recognizes that and shows only the 12 channels. Again, the FTQ-99Sx will work with both the new FTQ modules and the 16 channel or 16Q rails, and with the older FTH-12Q or 12 channel rails. Okay, we can go back to the main screen, and it shows the two modules connected to the network. And from this screen, in order to manually fire, we have to first put the system in ARM. And we do that with the key. And we can see that both the modules have gone into ARM. And on the controller, it's showing that everything is in ARM with the red bar across the screen. Now, new with the FTQ-99Sx is this manual fire button. In order to manually fire from an armed state or a state of play or pause, you have to press the manual fire button first. When that function is activated, it will show in red manual fire on the screen. And it will automatically go to the first module able to manually fire. And here is module 1, our FTQ module. And we can see on the screen that I've got Qs 1 and 4 with good continuity. Now it's kind of hard to see here in the camera, so let me turn the lights off and show you that the buttons on the controller are illuminated and correspond to the rails and cues available to fire. So here we see we have R1 illuminated, which corresponds with the first rail, and on that rail we have Q1 or channel 1 illuminated, which you can also see on the screen there with the solid dot on the green background, and also Q or channel 4 is illuminated. This is a convenient aid to help you understand which rails are selected and which buttons or cues are available to fire. Okay, we'll go back to the video with the lights on. Now, in order to manually fire, just like the previous controller, we're going to be on one of the module screens, and we're going to first select a rail. Here is rail 1, and then we're going to select one of the channel buttons associated with the cues that we want to fire. Here we'll pick channel 1, then we'll go to channel 4. Here's a replay with some close-up images, but take note, you'll see that the channel button will flash, indicating what was the last button to be fired. Now, when we want to switch modules, we can go to module 2 by using the next button. And again, we're at module ID 2, and this is the 12 channel rails. And again, we'll select rail 1 and channel 1 or Q1 for that one igniter. Well, there you go. There's a quick demo on how to manually fire the FireTEK system with the new FTQ-99Sx advanced controller. It should feel very similar to the previous controller, but now it has a dedicated manual fire function that you have to select in order to first manually fire any of your cues. Check out the other videos on the new FTQ-99Sx advanced controller from FireTEK.